Hello, everybody. This is John Fawcett, Warning Coordination Meteorologist for the Weather Service Office serving the far west Texas and southern New Mexico area. And with me is Tim Bryce, Senior Forecaster, and we're going to tell you about a significant snow and rain event that is very close to happening. This is Thursday afternoon, January 29th. The potential impacts, road closures, that's what you'd expect with a lot of snow, and that's what we're expecting for the Gila region and Sacramento Mountains, mainly above 7,000 feet elevation, peaking Friday into Saturday, and also off and on into early Sunday. The El Paso Las Cruces metro could see more than an inch of rain, some spots even approaching 2 inches of rain Friday and Saturday. But unlike your monsoon season, this will be spread out over about 36 to 48 hours, so we're not thinking flash flooding at this time, but you could have some water ponding. And of course, as you look at the rush hours, both of them on Friday, with slick roads like that and some puddles, that's going to make it more dangerous, so there could be an increase in accidents. Get extra time ahead of you before going to work and school. Higher runoff than normal off the Gila and Membres rivers when you have a lot of precipitation and higher snow levels, because you're going to get some rain on some of that snow. But the good news is there's less than normal snowpack. So Tim Bryce will talk to you about this issue a little bit later on. Now here's the weather scenario. The big players, at least to start with, a backdoor cold front coming in from the northeast. That'll be due very shortly. That will be undercutting a blob of moisture coming around that upper low to our southwest and west. And that combination will result in a lot of precipitation. The difference in this scenario compared to earlier ones this winter, this is the most moisture we've seen during the cool part of the year than's been the case for quite a while. So, you see that word dry slot, or two words there? That comes into play a little bit later. As that upper low gets nearer, the dry slot will be working in from the southwest. But will it come here with a lot of dry air, just a little dry air? We're expecting a drop off, but not a total ceasing, but a drop off in precipitation sometime Friday evening into Saturday morning. And the exact location of the greatest drop off we don't know yet. But that is something that we are watching, but the upper low is still there. It'll be coming closer as it starts to drop to the southeast into northern Mexico. During that time, Saturday evening and overnight, you'll have another burst of precipitation, perhaps not as steady as Friday, but it's something that's still going to be affecting us. But then by Sunday morning, as that low drops down, the moisture starts to thin out a little bit, but the lift that turns that moisture into precipitation will be dropping off a lot. So we expect decreasing precipitation during the day Sunday, possibly just a few spots of light showers Sunday evening. The warnings and advisories as a result of what we've just talked about, winter storm warnings. That's it. And that's for the Sacramento Mountains and the Gila region above 7,000 feet. And Tim will be talking to you about some of the specific amounts that you can be expecting. So, Tim, take it away.
Thanks, John. All right. So, basically, like John said, we're looking for a significant amount of rain. That kind of grayish blue that you see on there that runs from east of Del City all the way almost up to Deming, that's 1.25 inches of rain. So across almost the entire area of far west Texas and southern New Mexico, we're expecting well over 1 inch of rain. And as you approach the New Mexico border, it's approaching 2 inches of liquid precipitation, or equivalent to 2 inches of rain. Of course, in the higher elevations of both the Sacramento Mountains and the Gila Wilderness and the Black Mountains, we are expecting not rain but snow, and like John said, above 7,000 feet. So speaking of snow, what are we expecting in the mountains? In the Black Range and in the Gila Wilderness, we're expecting the bullseye of 6 to 10 inches above 7,000 feet, and then less as you get down. In the Sacramento Mountains, we're expecting a bullseye of 10 to 16 inches of snow, a little less as you work down the mountains. Basically, what's going to happen is that if you're above 8,000 feet, it's going to snow, and it's going to snow a lot. If you're below 6,000 feet, it's going to rain, and it's going to rain a lot. The problem is, or the challenge is in this forecast, is if you are in between that 6,000 to 8,000 feet, the snow level is going to fluctuate up and down. So it could go from snow to rain to mix to snow, back to rain to snow, something like that, as we move through the next 48 hours. So we try to depict that. Places like Silver City could get a lot of rain and just a little bit of snow, or a fair amount of snow and just a little bit of rain. So, we depicted for them 1 to 3 inches. So we'll have to see as we go through the day tomorrow where that melting layer, the snow layer, is going to set up, and then how it's going to change over the next or the course of the event during this time. Uncertainties, like I said, the snow levels will range from 6,000 to 8,000 feet in the Sacramento Mountains, and from 7,000 to 8,000 feet in the Gila Wilderness. So if you're below that level, it's going to rain. If you're above that level, it's going to snow. If you're in the in-between in that level, it's going to fluctuate, and you may actually see a variety of precipitation. The other main issue, the exact track of the upper level system, it's pretty much set now. The models are all in agreement. But like that John mentioned, the dry slot, where that dry air is going to come in. How quickly is it going to come in? And then where it comes in, is it going to come in over western New Mexico, over the central area, including Las Cruces and El Paso, or further to our east? We'll have to be reevaluating that during the day tomorrow. The good news is this looks like this will put a big dent in our drought. You can see some areas have already been cleared from drought, like the Sacramento Mountains and most of El Paso and Hudspeth County, but there's still a fair amount of abnormally dry conditions and moderate drought, and even a little bit of severe drought. So hopefully this will put a big dent in our drought situation. So it looks like a real good rain and a real good snow that will increase our snowpack. It's a real good rain in that it'll fall over a long period and give us a nice wetting rain. It'll be able to soak in, but it won't cause us like flooding problems like we see during the summer. So real quickly, here's a recap of the graphic again that you can expect. Winter storm warnings in the mountains above 7,000 feet. For the Sacramento Mountains, 10 to 16 inches. For this Gila Wilderness and for the Black Range, 6 to 10 inches above 7,000 feet. And in the lowlands, anywhere from an inch, maybe even approaching 2 inches of rain, but again, spread out over 36 hours or so. As always, you can keep up with the latest information, forecasts, warnings, and advisories via our Facebook page, our Twitter, our YouTube accounts, or as always on our weather page, our webpage at weather.gov/El Paso. So thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you later.